Welcome to the Tao of Aromatica. I'm here with Karen Kane, former project manager and now tea maven. Karen, welcome to the show.
Thanks for coming back. I'm glad I didn't scare you off.
No, I loved it the first time. I thought, I learned so much. And if you haven't seen the first episode, you need to go back and watch this. We talked a lot about different types of tea, and I think I learned a lot from that. So, Karen, what are we doing today?
Well, we talked a lot about tea and the importance of good tea, and that doesn't get you to a good cup of tea unless you have some equipment. So today we're going to talk about infusion techniques, equipment, timing, all the good stuff.
Okay, well, what I want to know is how do you make the best cup of tea? What's involved?
Start with great water, start with good tea. And you need to be careful with some types of tea about how long you infuse it in the water and the temperature of the water. So black tea is very easy to get along with. You use a full rolling boil, and 3 to 5 minutes is the optimum for most black teas. Green tea is a little bit more, it's like the tricky sister. It likes to have 180 degrees. So do you have one of those kettles that has the see-through
Like glass kettle? Yeah. We have that.
So have you ever watched it and you see the bubbles starting to come up off the bottom?
I have seen that.
Yeah. The Chinese call that fish eyes. And fish eyes means it's about 180 degrees, and that's the perfect temperature for green tea. So watch your kettle for the fish eyes if you're using green tea, and be very careful about the duration of time that you steep the leaves. Loose leaf tea is not necessarily easier than bags when it gets to green tea. You'll get a much better product, but you have to time it properly and you have to respect it.
Okay. All right. So I have this glass kettle at home. Is this all I need? Are there other types of equipment that I might, if I wanted to get something else?
You're going to burn those lips if you're drinking from the kettle.
I'll try not to do that.
Okay, so let's talk about some other products.
All right. Well, what else we've got?
Okay, back in history, this was the first teapot and teacup. This is called a gaiwan. It's comprised of 3 different pieces. Notice that there's kind of a lip that the cup sits into on the saucer. Okay? What's
Where's
missing?
the handle? The handle.
Ah.
Where's that?
Back in the day, in Chinese culture, if it was too hot to handle, it was too hot to drink.
Too hot to handle.
Too hot to drink.
Too hot to drink. Got it.
The saucer actually functioned as a handle, and so you would add your tea, add your water, put the lid on, let it steep, peek at it. Yeah, I'm ready to drink. I'll turn my back to you.
All right.
And then I would sip like this. The saucer functioned as the handle for my cup.
So we've evolved since then into other types of equipment.
Yep.
What else have we got?
Well, we've got cups, teapots, all different materials, infusers, measuring spoons. Where would you like to start?
Well, I guess one thing I want to know, you keep talking about infusers, and why are infusers important, and are there differences between infusers? What do I need to know about that?
Great question.
Because I'm not allowed to use bags anymore. That's what you told me last time.
Right.
Right? No
Ditch
bags.
the old bag. So we have infusers that are made of a gold mesh. They have a lid. You're going to put them in your cup.
Okay. Put
your tea in the infuser, set it on your cup, put the lid on it, and time your steep.
Okay, how many scoops, sorry to interrupt, how many scoops for that do I put in?
1 scoop, which is 1 teaspoon per cup.
Okay.
When you go to remove this, the lid which kept your steam in is now going to catch your drips. That's kind of handy.
Multifaceted.
Absolutely.
I like that. Perfect.
So, not everybody wants plastic in their cup. This, obviously, we wouldn't sell anything that's going to harm you. So these plastics are safe. They're a stable plastic. If you prefer a stainless steel infuser, you've got a basket that will fit either in a cup or a pot. You can also, here comes the bag.
You're reintroducing the bag.
I am. But the bag that you put loose leaf tea into is a gusseted bag, because the more circulation, the better the flavor. And so you can't really compare this with that flat, dusty stuff that you get at the grocery store, because you started with great leaf, and you put it in something that was going to let it circulate and infuse.
Quite a bit bigger, yeah.
Yeah, and they're very inexpensive. It's like $100 bags for $6. Not a big deal. They're biodegradable. We put ours right straightly in the compost, and although they're white, it's a non-chlorine bleach done on the bags. That's not all. These are two of my favorite pieces. They're both designed in Canada by a fella from Winnipeg. This is called the Brute, and it's Brute, B-R-E-W-T, Brute.
Oh, it's a little joke. I
It's
get that.
good.
Brute.
Yeah, it's good. And I'm going to actually show you how this one works. So I'm going to take a teaspoon of tea,
Right.
and I'm going to put it directly in there. Notice
Nice.
that it sits on the filter.
Yeah.
Okay. I've got my trusty Aromatica flask.
Nice.
And I'm
Little
going to
plug there.
Yep. Add my tea, or add my water. And notice the circulation. I mean, what you see is those tea leaves are swirling around.
That looks
and
like quite a chunky tea. Like if I'm, that's almost a meal right there.
Well, we're going to talk about the history of tea being food before it was a beverage in our next episode, Cooking with Tea.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay? So another product made by the same fella who developed this is called the Wall. And this is borosilicate glass. It's the same glass that's used for Pyrex coffee pots in the old days. It's almost indestructible. And what he's done is he's fused a borosilicate filter right into the cup.
What a cool design.
Yeah. I find this, although we sell it to women as well, this seems to be the guy's go-to thing because it's a no fuss, no muss
It's just
option.
so simple. It's just so elegant. And
It is.
Yeah.
And especially if you're going to use your leaves multiple times like a good green tea, you put your leaves in, you put your water in, and then you just drink from the cup. You need another cup, throw some more water in.
How many times can I reuse tea leaves, just generally?
No general about it. In the same way that you're going to be careful about the timing of a green tea, you're also going to be careful about not reusing some kinds of tea, but others are more available. So a green tea, often you can get 1, 2, sometimes three cups out of it. Oolong will be more than that. Black teas, I typically just infuse ones.
Okay.
So that's the Wall.
That's cool. So we talked. I mean, you talked about glass, and there's other types of materials that are used in some of these products. I know I have a ceramic pot that we use at home. You take the glass, you boil it, and then pour it in the ceramic pot. Is that the best type of teapot that's available? What are my other choices?
So ceramic is a great choice for a serviceable pot. It's also the least
Serviceable.
expensive.
Cheap.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So
So I've got the cheap pot at home.
but there are some really nice designs.
Educate me. Educate me on
okay.
what we should be
Okay.
considering.
All right. Ceramic often comes in really nice designs, really nice colors. You'll pay for that versus a bare bones thing. Lots of people talk about the Brown Betty. You know, the old English teapot.
Yeah.
You can't even get them anymore. They're
Yeah.
not made in England. So we'll skip the Brown Betty, but you have lots of choices of materials. So if you scale up from ceramic, the next step up is porcelain. The Guy One that we have here would have been a porcelain material.
Right.
Scaling up some more, you go to bone china. So this is a bone china pot. If you were able to see it close up, you would see that this is see-through. And it is known for its lightness and its purity. Many people say that bone china gives you the best flavor.
Why do they call it bone china?
There's actually ground bone in it before it's glazed.
Wow.
Yeah. So oftentimes you'll see a teapot like this and it's got the fancy gold trim. Don't put that in your dishwasher and don't put that in your microwave. That gold is not going to be very serviceable
If
from
it's not going in the dishwasher, then it's not coming into the house.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Well, you may need something different. This is a stainless steel pot. These are some of my favorite pots. It's a double wall, so it traps the heat in and it's going to last, keep it hot a long time. Notice that this infuser basket is deep. So if you buy a pot, one of the things to check is it the right size for your family to enjoy? And also, does the infuser basket go almost to the bottom? We had a model, which we don't carry anymore, big pot, great for a nice big family, but the basket only went this deep. So you couldn't do it for 1 cup of tea. You had to make 5 or 6 to make it work.
So is there a possibility that there might be a metallic flavor? Does it affect taste?
Well, I blend teas and I can't taste it. So some people may find that it's not to their liking, but stainless steel is, I mean, it's surgical grade stainless steel. If I can wear it in my ears and not have a problem, I think it's
No,
okay on my
that
tongue.
sort of makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a bone china cup. And so again, you have the lightness and you have the transparency. And, you know, at the very far end of the spectrum from that would be the Tetsuban range. So traditionally, Tetsubans came from Japan.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It is. Feel the weight of that.
Oh, yeah.
And
It's cast iron or something.
yeah, and this one happens to have matching cups. You'll notice that the cups don't look the same as the pot does because the pot and the cups are lined with an enamel to protect the metal. You're not getting any iron in your cup from
Well,
that.
this is so beautiful. Like if you're drinking coffee before and you look at this, that might change your mind and you may consider drinking tea. It's beautiful.
It is, and it's a lifetime piece. We often find people buy these as wedding gifts or a gift for someone special because it will last a long, long time. They hold the heat, and they're a beautiful piece to have.
Now, we're a very mobile society now, with due respect to the infusers and all the time that these things take. Are there options that are more on the go that will help the fast-paced among us to keep our fast pace,
Absolutely.
not lose a step?
So you can make it in a pot and put it in a to-go vessel of any kind. We have these that are double wall stainless here. You can find them in lots of different places. These are two of my favorite infuser on-the-go travel
Oh, so this has
mugs.
got the infuser right inside?
It does.
Oh, that's
This
good.
one's made in the USA.
Okay.
It's double wall. It's going to hold the heat. Listen. As you pull it apart, you know that it has held its place there. This one's the only one I've seen on the market that has a two-part filter. So if you are brewing something that you want to remove the leaves from, you put the leaves in here, put it back together, clip it in, steep it, and then pull that out and leave that behind as you take this on the road. Lots of teas, herbals, for example, and rooibos, you are okay to take it on the road and just simply have it filtered before it goes in your mouth. So by separating the basket, we click that into place. Now the water and the leaves are at the bottom of the cup, but it's kept out of my mouth by virtue of that filter. So that double layer basket is lovely. And of course, it's got, you know, a place to snap it onto your backpack or take it with you. So this is a great on-the-go option. This is another one which we've had. Rarely have we had a product that so often when a couple comes in and buys one, they're back the following week to buy another because it's so much fun. This has a similar sort of idea with a removable basket. The reason I prefer this one over lots of other models is that this is a 360-degree piece for the mouthpiece. So once you've got your tea brewed, and again, you could put it in, use the basket as a filter and take your tea and leaves with you, or you could remove it and take the leaves out. Once I get the lid on this, I don't have to find the hole in the dark in my car because this is 360 degrees travel. And if I'm not very bright because it's early in the morning and I forget to knock that closed, this has actually been designed so that, I hope we can pick this up. Did you hear the click? Even if I forget, that lid is going to make sure that nothing leaks. I used to throw these in my purse when I was traveling to Vancouver with my computer and go because it just holds up.
That kind of confidence that you can have with that. No, that's perfect.
Yeah.
So we've learned a lot, I think, about equipment, and obviously probably not everything that we can possibly cover within this episode, but I'm going to presume that if our audience may have some questions, they can either email you or maybe even pop down to Aromatica and talk to you live. Yourself or Kim are going to be the experts on that.
Yep.
Now, we're going to have some more episodes in our season 1 of the Tao of Aromatica. What else are we going to be talking about coming up?
We are going to talk about both small batch blending and cooking with tea. So long before tea was a beverage, it was a food. And we've lost sight of that in our culture, but we found lots of ways to incorporate tea, add flavor, add benefit by using tea as a cooking
Oh, I'm
ingredient.
looking forward to that episode. And small batch blending, is that something that you guys do as well, or
It
do you
is. We blend for restaurants, and
Oh, really?
we also do custom blends for people. We have a line as we head into autumn that's really important. They're called functional teas. So we sometime had someone come in and ask us for something that would help them with their tummy pains or their indigestion. And we made a blend for that. And someone else said, well, what about something for colds? And we made a blend for that. So we have a line of functional teas that are part of our regular retail lineup other than the wholesale
Well, we're
stuff
going to
we do.
stop you right there because we're getting into episode 3, and we're going to keep you hanging on that.
Perfect.
So can we try some of this, though? This looks amazing.
All right. Well, I'm the tea granny, so I get the big cup. But I want
Figures.
to show you how the brute dispenses. Because we talked about this, but I didn't tell you that there's a valve in the bottom.
Oh,
So
I
I'm
would have just tipped it that way.
Yeah, no.
No, I would have
So
been wrong.
look.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, yeah.
Dispenses from the bottom, and you can see, I'm going to put it on the cup because I'm
Yeah.
not supposed to stand there holding it. The cup itself offsets the valve.
Okay, good.
I'll save you
Save
some.
some for me. Yeah, where's
Save
my cup?
you some.
Okay.
And then
Good.
into your cup it goes.
There we are.
So that's the brute,
Beautiful.
and that's all you get, bud.
Well, I want to propose a toast to a wonderful episode. I learned a lot. I hope you all did as well. Stay tuned for the next episode of the Tao of Aromatica, where we're talking about
Small
blends?
batch
Small
blending,
batch blends.
because we blend for restaurants and we do specialty blends, and it's good stuff.
It's
eh?
good stuff, yeah.
This was a specialty blend. This was Appledorn's when Appledorn's first 4 owners back. She was the best baker, and I said, you need some tea that'll be as good as your...
We should have called this the history of Aromatica,
Ah!
but we're stuck with the
The
Tao.
Tao.
I love the Tao of Aromatica. Till next time.